city attorney's report. Mr. Smith.
No report, Mr. Mayor, thank you.
Okay, Mr. Mond.
See, we're moving so fast here.
Cold.
See, there was, I thought there was one thing. Here, let me
Start with that.
let me pass this around.
Drag your feet off. Come in whenever I can. Yeah, so, that's perfect.
This is a project, a little description that I received from Joe Beaker today. This has to do with Dunham and Lynn Haven storm and street improvements. And of course, we just talked about Dunham. And Lynn Haven's over at near Hunter Huss. And you see the size of this project, and you see what we're trying to do. This is stormwater, and it's also streets. And it's a project, I don't know if we've talked about these two that much, but these are projects that have been in the pipeline, sort of pun intended when I say that. That these
In the
are.
collapsing pipeline?
Pardon me?
In the collapsing pipeline?
Collapsing, yeah, collapsing pipelines in terms of Dunham. And, but this is an example of where we're replacing 72-inch failing culverts, and we're doing some important work, and it's almost $1 million. And so if you wonder, you know, where stormwater dollars go and where some of these other dollars go, they go into projects. They go into projects like these. So that I think it's a good example of the kind of work that's done, and you'll see that it also we'll be closing the streets for a little bit, but just to let you know that work is underway.
I have a question for you. You may have a very simple answer. I'm looking at where this 72-inch failing culvert is on Lynn Haven. It says at Echo Lane below Wesley Acres Swim Club. It says this one entailed the complete closure of Lynn Haven for a period of approximately 9 weeks. The city just finished work right there at Echo Lane going. It had something to do with the sidewalks, and I don't know if it was storm drain, what the work was, but it took quite some time, and lanes were closed, lanes were open, so forth, because I use that to go through a lot. So, and it took a while to complete that project, and I'm not saying anything about the project, it was probably needed, or we wouldn't have done it, but then we're gonna turn right around and for 9 weeks, close that street.
Why didn't we do it at the same time?
Yeah, why can't some of this kind of be coordinated? We know we're gonna have a major project that takes 10, 12 weeks. We know we're gonna have a major project that takes 9 weeks. Can't we kind of, seems like the same equipment would be there.
We usually do, and Rusty, I don't know if,
I just know if I lived out here, I'd be mad, because they're just now getting their life back to normal when you, 9 weeks.
Not real certain about the work. The only work that comes to mind immediately that was done in that area was Lynn Haven was on the Giovanni resurfacing list. And so we did do some resurfacing out there recently. And we actually stopped short of this project just to do that same coordination that you're talking about. We knew we had a stormwater problem. We knew we were resurfacing. It didn't make much sense to do them separately, so we held off on the resurfacing to do this together. I think Echo's a real narrow road. I think recently we did some work about kind of trying to do some shoulder improvements there on that ditch side of Echo Lane right there, but that's the only one that I can think of. But like I say, we absolutely do try to look for those opportunities to do these projects together, and like I said, this is the resurfacing and the stormwater. We did kind of hold off on those projects so we could do that, but I'll try and find out more about that for you.
It may have been up on Lynn. You know what I'm talking about, Brenda, where the cemetery is there?
Okay, that's on Belmar.
Belmar,
Belmar.
right there off Echo.
We did do some sidewalk work on Belmar as part of the
Exactly.
Giovanni project also.
It seems like all that could have been, you're gonna be doing resurfacing, sidewalk work, storm drains. Just seems like it
Well,
could
the
have all.
sidewalks was part of the Geo bond.
Well, the
Okay.
resurfacing is too, isn't it?
Yeah, on the resurfacing on Lynn Haven was also
But I think the Lynn Haven surfacing was from Edgeville to Hudson. It looks like to me this is from Edgeville to Belmar.
Well,
Belmont.
the
Right.
resurfacing was the entire stretch of Lynn Haven. When we got into it, we realized we just needed to do the whole stretch of Lynn Haven, all the way from Belmar to Hudson.
And I realize we're
It's
talking about,
bad now. It's bad again. I don't know if we resurface the whole thing, it's bad.
Once we can get in there and get the stormwater fixed, we can put, the new asphalt down on top of it
Okay.
and fix all of it.
Maybe the stormwater issues
It is.
created the,
It is costly.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. Okay. Go ahead.
That's all I have.
Thank you.